Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is GOGO EVANS LATORTUE, and welcome to For Jasper TV. And this evening, we have the pleasure of sitting here at Three Tides Restaurant and Bar. We have the pleasure of sitting and having a conversation with Mr. Tom Mitchell. To me, Mr. Tom Mitchell has been such a figure within, especially the Caribbean community, the Haitian community, that it's always very interesting to sit and have a conversation with Mr. Mitchell. Tom, I've known Tom for a very long time. I've had the pleasure of sharing the stage with Tom, and I think having Tom here, I really would want to, from one musician to another, from one sax player to another, to have a conversation to kind of go deeper into Tom Mitchell. Tom.
My goodness.
How are you, sir?
I am so well, Evans. Or shall I call it? We're friends. We'll stick with GOGO, it's fine. Evans, as you like. Thank you for having me. I could not be more flattered. This is wonderful. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Tom, you've been playing compadre. I'm guessing, again, not to put your age out there, but you've been doing this for at least 40 years?
Yes. I can't believe I can even count that high.
Should we just say 40 plus?
It's 40 is good. It's been a while. It has passed very quickly.
Yes.
It's easy to forget. But it's been a while. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm proud of it. It's been. I hope I've learned a few things along the way. I think I have.
I know you have, and I know you've taught a few things along the way as well. So.
Well, if I've been able to drop off a few things along the way, I'm happy to do it. I was thinking, I heard something. From Denzel Washington not too long ago. He was talking about life. He says, at the beginning, you learn. In the middle, you earn. At the end, you return. And I thought that was kind of cool, right? But when I think about like all these years of playing this music, I realize I've been doing all three at the same time the whole time. So it kind of doesn't work the same way. But as you say, I've been happy to share what I have learned. I've been to some schools. I've had some great teachers. I know a lot. I learned it the hard way and the easy way. But I've always been happy to share it with the people that I come into contact with. It's really what it's all about. And so I was sharing it when I was 20. And I'm sharing it now when I'm 29.
Let's go back to when you were 20. How did you get involved within the compa playing?
Oh my gosh, how much time do you have?
We have time. It's Friday evening.
All right, man. So I may give you the full version or the fuller version.
Okay.
I don't want to go back to the beginning of music and me. But I was a little guy and I fell into it, and something kept pulling me along, and something kept saying, stay with this, I will show you the world. I heard little voices in my head, And so I was attracted to music pretty early. And I got pretty good. I picked it up pretty fast. And kind of, it's like I had some kind of aptitude for it. Yeah. Eventually, as a good American kid, the idea was like, well, okay, where are you going to go to college? It's like, well, as quickly as 40 years have gone by, 18 years had gone by. It was time for school. Well, where would I go? And I didn't really know, but I thought, I really should study music. You have one chance at life. you know, and if you can do it, if somebody wants to take you to their school, yeah, you know, go for it, see what happens.
Okay.
Long story made short, I ended up at the University of Miami, which at the time was a pretty wild school, but really excellent. And for jazz, and especially for fusion at the time, you know, this was the days of Weather Report and Pat Metheny, and oh, you know, I could go on and on with the bands, but you know, a lot of those people came from that school. Pat Metheny taught at the University of Miami. Dead serious. He had been there like a year or two before I got there. You could still smell the weed from Pat Metheny in the buildings, and you know, no, it was incredible. And you know, the kids I studied with and everything, it was fantastic. It was all about jazz. It was, but everybody was playing rock gigs on the side, fusion, blues, you name it. And what happened is that along the way, somewhere along the line, Dadu Pasquet found out that the University of Miami was a great place to get horn players from Magnum. And some of my friends started playing with Magnum, and I said, wow, that's what I came to Miami, you know, that's what I'm here to do.
Roughly, give us an idea. What years was this?
Well, that was like 80, 81,
80, 81.
you know,
Okay.
into that. And yeah, so some of these guys had been to Haiti and were telling me stories of Haiti.
Okay,
And-
but you hadn't entered the...
No, I hadn't, but
had friends that were gigging with Magnum.
yeah, and I thought, you know what, well, yeah, I'm not from Florida, you know, I'm from Indiana.
Right.
We don't have Haitians in Indiana.
Right.
We do now, but at the time, it's like, no, there was no
Right.
such thing.
Right.
Well, there are a few, and there are stories about that. All of this kind of led me in this direction. And that's one of the things that made me want to come to Miami. I thought, well, maybe I'll go to Brazil. Maybe I'll go to Cuba. Maybe, you know, I'll end up in some country. I could feel that coming.
Right.
It turned out, well, that it was going to be Haiti because
So you ended up doing the gig.
long story made short, yeah, I was getting to the end of my time at Miami.
Right.
And it was a quiet Friday afternoon in one of the practice buildings. There wasn't much going on, and I was walking up and down the hall, and here's a little bulletin board on the wall. It's like Alice in Wonderland or something. Little bulletin board on the wall with a little card on it. I said, oh, what's that? It says, Haitian band needs saxophone player. Call this number.
Okay.
So I said, okay, what am I called the number. It was Dadu Pasquet's number that was on the card. And he said, oh, yes, oh, I'm very happy to meet you, Tom, and blah, blah, blah. And I went over to his house. You know, he had me over there. It was just me and him. He was showing me some of the parts, some of the Magnum stuff. And the guitar that he was playing, like, it was incredible. like, you know, what is this? This is, you know, and, well, I was hooked. And so I started playing with them. Just kind of like that. And as it worked out, again, the school was ending for me.
Right.
And I was free. I was 21 or 22.
You're in Miami, you're playing with Magnum.
I was doing this stuff, and that was already pretty good. But I was kind of thinking, well, gee, what do I do now? Well, providentially, those guys said, we're not going to stay in Miami. We're going back to Haiti. Tom, I think you might be the saxophone player that we need. Give me the sales pitch. And I said, oh, sure, yeah, let's see.
Let's go.
Let's check it out. And again, I was really pretty predisposed. I mean, we were talking a few minutes ago about some of the New Orleans masters of jazz, including Sidney Bechet, who was a hero of mine from childhood.
Right.
Well, and I knew that his whole ancestry was from Haiti, or at least I'm not sure.
There's a lineage there. So.
There is a huge lineage, and if it wasn't Haiti, it was Martinique. It has been traced, and not him, but all of these guys. I loved their playing. There was a difference to their sound, to their style. I wanted to check that anyway, And here I was, I had a chance, like, you know, well, here you go. Here, you know, here it is.
So while you were touring in Haiti with Magnum,
Yeah.
you were telling me, we were talking before by the bar, you had an encounter where you went to a little restaurant and with Mexico was with that. It was one of the...
with Seco, there he was. I mean, just, you know, nobody in the place. It was almost just me and him, and like, you know, he had like a 3 or 4 piece rhythm section, you know, just playing little troubadour type things, and we jammed, and you know, I didn't know what to expect. I had heard of him, but I had no idea. I had not heard him.
Right.
I had never met him. I said, well, this will be fun. We'll have a pleasant exchange of musical ideas. The guy played circles around me. It was ridiculous. I said, oh, this guy is good. What am I going to do? I put down my tenor. I got out my soprano. I'll bet he doesn't have a soprano, you know. Well, he was playing alto, so I think he grabbed his alto and my tenor, and he played them both at once. I was saying, like, oh no, this is too much. What do I do now?
Oh my God!
I grabbed my flute.
Where were cell phones back then? Somebody needed to have a cell phone clip of that.
I grabbed my flute. I said, he can't follow me here. I mean, you know, I can play some flute, and I wasn't bad that, you know. So I'm doing my thing, and the guy is like, he's playing everything that I could do an octave higher and backwards, you know. And I said, whoa, there's something to this. The stuff he was playing, I mean, we all know compas direct. Right. We all know that there's a way that alto players play, and it's mostly, you know, I mean, they're grabbing a little piece of him and a few other guys, but he pretty much is the inventor of the thing. Well, from what I had heard, I thought, well, that's all there was. That was like nothing. You know, the guy was like Charlie Parker. And there he was playing for like 3 people from Belgium in this funky little place, you know, and it opened my eyes. I mean, my eyes were opened regularly in Haiti. It completely.
So how long were you in Haiti for?
It was year and a half, maybe 2 years, something like that. It was long enough to get the feel of the seasons changing, and Carnival and Noel and you know, and all the stuff.
One of the things I know, your stay in Magnum, you actually put your mark into Magnum. You put your stamp on Magnum.
Well, I guess I did. They put their stamp on me.
Listen, there's a solo that you did. I believe again it was with a soprano sax that you did. I forget the name of the song, but man.
Oh, probably Liberté. That's the one. That's the famous one.
That's the one. That's the one, man.
That's the famous one. There were plenty of others.
Listen. Me personally, yes, I've taken out my soprano, and I've tried to mimic that solo. That's a serious solo. That's a serious solo.
Well, as I tell the story, it was one of those moments. I mean, you know, do you have moments like this in your life where you feel like you're almost outside of your body watching yourself do this or that? This was kind of like that. I mean, you know, I mean, yeah, they called us down to the studio, down to Criteria. Excellent studio. You know, one of the things about Fred Paul, that record was for Fred, is if you were on a Fred Paul, on a Mini Records record, you would go to the best studio in town. So here it is, Criteria, my first time ever, like in a studio that was bigger than a bedroom. You know, all the stuff, all the lights, you know, it sounded so great in the control room, but I'd only been there maybe 20 minutes, and they said, okay, we're going to play Liberté now. And we had played it maybe 2 or 3 times live at all, so we barely knew the tune. And, you know, so I had hardly heard the thing at all. You know, and so we play some parts as a section, and okay, and Dadu says, okay, you know, yeah, so Tom, like do a little solo for me now. And I mean, there wasn't any time to think about it. It's just like, here it is, and here's the track, and for something said, like, get out the soprano. I mean, really, I was still...
Just let it rip.
Well, no. But my thing, I mean, in my mind, I was no Haitian saxophone player. I was just trying to be Wayne Shorter. That's totally where I was coming from. And soprano, like if I could play half of what he ever did, I would die happy. So Wayne. They rolled this track, and I'm just listening. Like Tico just like gave the whole thing. What he had already played was it was right there. I play a little sentence. Tico, like the ghost of Tico from the tape, answers it. I play another one. He answers that. And it's a dialogue, but it's me like talking to something pre-recorded. I mean, that was it. I mean, we may have stopped and fixed one thing, and it may have just gone down like that.
That is a classic, and again, hats off to you. But
well, thank you.
And I think it'd be easier for me to ask you.
Yeah.
Which top Haitian group have you not played with? I mean,
Les Frères
Tabu Combo, System Band.
Yeah, I did that.
I heard Safem.
Yeah. Happy to be there.
New Look.
Let's not. All right, and
so
let's
you've been
with Skasha with credit. Let's give credit to Zeclé.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
So
geniuses.
Question.
Yes. Who have I not played with?
Well,
Les Frères Desjans.
Oh.
One song ever, once.
Oh, you played one song?
Once, because I was someplace with Tabu, and we played together, and Tabu played first, and the guys were in the bus, and they said, we want to go, let's get out. I said, oh come on, guys, you know, it's like give me. So I went and played one tune.
Nice.
But with the band Les Frères Desjans, that's the only time, and I would love to. They're my favorite, one of my favorites.
One of the things with you being such a well-rounded musician.
Go on.
Man, come on, you jazz, you rock, you compa, you whatever, you.
Well, okay. I get around.
Do you, with all that experience that you've gained, you know, the quote from Denzel, you learn, you earn, and then
you return.
You return.
Yeah.
So when are we going to get a return? A Tom Mitchell featured product.
You know, I have not even really thought about it for a long time. When I was 28, on my birthday, okay, I said by the time I'm 29, I'm going to do one.
Okay. So it's not.
No, listen.
Like you said before.
No. Listen. I turned 29. I said, okay, by the time I'm 30, that's it.
Oh,
definite.
Well,
I turned 30. I said, you know what? Maybe I'm not ready yet.
Well, before we close, before we close,
okay.
I want to just put this out there.
Yeah.
I have a strong feeling that it's time. It's time for a Tom Mitchell project.
Well,
something that really encompasses the little Haitian, a little Afrobeat, possibly some R&B.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Well, I'm starting. It's a funny thing when you've been doing things for 40 years, and the people. I've considered myself an apprentice this whole time. Right? I was not born in Haiti. I wasn't really born a musician. I've been an apprentice this whole way. I've had some excellent masters. A lot of them have left the planet now. Now people are saying, "Oh, you're a legend." You know. Okay, so I guess what it means. When they start calling you legend, it's like. It means like run for your life. It means you're almost dead.
That's true too.
But it does make you think a different way. And I I always thought there are so many guys better than me out there. I would rather hear them than me. But no. But
you're a unique guy.
Okay.
You're unique. On parle créole bien assez.
Menti. On compte deux, trois phrases, une phrase comme ça, deux, trois mots. You know, m'a dégagé, but surtout, si je parle créole, c'est pour me donner des réponses pour apprendre bien. Toujours là pour apprendre. But, yes.
Nous faisons giga ensemble.
Yes. Eh bien, tout le monde sous la terre, c'est dégagé, dégagé. So, you know, c'est possible, mais il faut me dire ça tout, il faut m'admettre ça. Après un certain temps, il faut admettre, OK, ou compte deux, trois bagages tout, ou mettre partager avec le monde. Qu'on y a ou pareil. C'est qu'on y a un centime qu'on y a. Je vais monter. Je deux, trois bagages dans la tête. Je pense qu'il y a deux, trois idées tout.
Oui, nous avons trois idées.
Nous avons parlé de ça. Nous avons parlé de ça.
Before we close,
yes.
since we have to close.
I'm sorry.
I know we can go.
We're just getting starting to feel at home here.
What? Share a little anecdote of Tom Mitchell.
A little anecdote.
Oh, just a little. Just
what?
Something we don't know. Tell me.
Oh, no.
That's it.
Oh, good God! It would be so boring. Oh no! A little anecdote of me. Oh, things like that. The other day, I learned how to make Chinese noodles. With garlic that are so delicious.
But isn't that easy?
No. Well, it is.
Okay.
It's hard until somebody shows you how easy it is, which is the truth of most of the beautiful things in life. Anyway, I bring that up because I love exploring the cultures, the languages, the histories, the music, absolutely. But all these things that make each one of us like what we are, and on top of that is who we are, and the magic of life on this planet, but especially in the United States of America, and more especially in the state of Florida, is the way that we come together and we share what we have. And I swear to God, I get more from everybody else than they get from me. Well, but I hope they get more from me. I hope they feel the same way. And that's what makes things nice, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And as you quoted from Denzel,
yeah,
we learn.
Yep.
We earn.
Or we try to.
We do. And now Tom, for Jasper TV, Tom is giving back.
I'm here for that. Thank you, GOGO.
Thank you.
What a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure's mine. Thank you for coming.
Oh no, it's ours. Hopefully yours. God willing. Here's to that. All right, man.